how do you make a quantum leap if you've been...
Well, quantum leaps are uncomfortable. And the way you make a quantum leap is by enduring much more negative emotion that is natural to you until you just can't stand it anymore. And then you make a very strong flip. It's like a breakdown. It's like a finally just giving in. It's like just letting it all go all at once. It's overrated and we don't recommend it. You don't need to make a quantum leap. You just make incremental, comfortable leaps.
I guess when I say a quantum leap, I think about, someone going from making, let's say $40,000 to $10 million.
You can do that, but you have to make the leap vibrationally first. In other words, you have to feel prosperous before that can happen.
But I'm saying if you already... I don't want to use the word practice because you already squashed that earlier. If you already consciously choose to focus on prosperity.
Yes.
And you do that continuously.
Because every subject is two subjects. Sometimes people think they're focusing on prosperity when what they're actually doing is focusing on lack of prosperity. And so you know that you have accomplished focus on prosperity when the emotion that you feel, which is the first manifestation that comes, when the emotion that you feel is one of security, it's one of expectation, it's one of ease, it's one of happy anticipation. So you make the emotional leap first, and then the other stuff can come really fast. And we know what you mean by quantum leap, quick turnaround. But a quick manifestational turnaround can't happen unless there is an emotional adjustment. And the emotional adjustment is the indicator of the vibrational adjustment. Jerry wanted to write a book. Esther's going to write it with him, Turning Thoughts to Things. And it's about finding that vibration and holding that vibration and allowing the momentum of that vibration to increase until those vibrations have become thoughts and emotions, and then they become impulses, and then they become manifestations.
I guess for someone who is already comfortable, meaning they can kind of travel and do what they want to do to a certain extent, they can buy what they want to a certain extent, they can live and be happy, but they want more. Is it harder for that person to, and I keep using the word quantum leap, is it harder for that person to spike to another level than someone who's had hardships all their life?
Maybe, but not necessarily. And here's the clarification you're looking for. Oh, we'd love giving this to you.
All right, I'm ready.
So, in the early stages of creating, that's often what people think they are creating. They think they're creating money and access and things that represent prosperity and, of course, ease of life. And that is all wonderful and lovely to create. But then you reach this place where you've got that down. And that no longer is the main event for you. The main event is watching the power of the universe to orchestrate on your behalf. Watching the sequence of events line up in your favor. Watching the number of things happen as if somebody's got your number and everybody's working on your behalf. Feeling the clarity coming into your mind, watching the timing of your own being. Beginning to feel your own improvement in all of your physical ways. In other words, there is so much more to that, what you're wanting to call comfort. You begin to realize that all things are possible. You begin to recognize your power of influence. You begin to see what some words carefully placed and perfectly timed can mean to someone else. You begin to get a sense of your movement in the world and your value in the world and what you mean to others in the world, those who will never even know your name. You begin to feel this interest in life that you were born with, surging to levels that you have not ever felt or expressed before, happening on a moment-to-moment, day-by-day, week-after-week basis. You begin to feel invincible. You begin to know the power and the goodness of your being. It's like watching the seas part everywhere you go, while everything that is important to you acquiesces to you. Not for the amazement that others feel as they watch your movement, but by the rightness of the way it feels to you as you come into your true power.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
So this all leads up to a question, and I feel like it's my last question ever.
Well,
Unless I start nitpicking. You've talked about the existence of past lives even today, right? We go through the lives, we go back to wherever, and we hold our kid's hand, and then we come back. So,
I'm going to give you something, a sort of bombshell we would like you to take home with you today and remember forevermore. Everything that you've lived before, your inner being has taken the advantage of it with. And so everything that you've ever lived has produced an understanding that your inner being now stands as a possessor of it. So the only thing, when you speak of past life, we would like to call the only past life that is worth calling past the present life that you are currently living. Because what is already past tense. And anything that you've lived before, the best part of it is with your inner being, so it's present tense. So the only past that is really worth letting go of is the current what is. Because the current what is what's holding you back from your eternal expansion. And if you got that, you're ready for everything.
thank you. Thus, the last question I have. So, if we do a past life regression, or if a psychic tells us about a past life, if it's seen somehow, or it can be real or not real, doesn't
First
matter.
of all, a psychic could not pick up on it unless it was active in your vibration. So it's not past, it's present.
All right. So, whatever we're seeing is our vibration of the moment, regardless whether it was real or not.
It's real, but you don't know if it's yours or the psychic's.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now, I have recently had psychics tell me this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, and it does. I get that that's how I'm vibrating, right? And if I were to change my vibration now, that future would not happen.
So this is someone who's very tapped into energy, who is anticipating what's coming. In other words, this is what we were saying about your inner being, that your inner being knows where you stand in relationship to everything that you want. And so there's this psychic emission that you are offering that the universe is responding to, law of attraction is responding to, and sometimes you can sense it and sometimes others can see it.
Okay, good, because this is helping lead to the question. So, I have heard, and this is where I think I'm getting off, I've heard that all time has happened at once, right? Because time is not linear. You talk about expansion.
Well, that's just humans trying to explain stuff that they can't explain, because it's clear that what is happening now is the leading edge. And so here and now, in other words, it's true that everything that matters is happening here and now. And it's true that when you're thinking about the past, you're doing it here and now. And it's true that when you're thinking about the present, you're doing it here and now. So all of your power is here and now. But there was that which you lived before. And the best way that we can explain the continuum of life is by saying that it is more now than it was then, and it will be more later than it is now, because the universe is continuing to expand. And if you don't try to put it in terms of time, then it's easy to get that sense of evolution and expansion and progression.
Good. Yes, thank you. So, here's the first half of the question. Have future lives been lived?
Future lives have been lived in a vibrational stance. In other words, your inner being is living your future life vibrationally, and you are in the process of warming up to it until you match the vibration so that it can manifest. How are thoughts turning to things? Thoughts are turning to things because of your realization of the vibration that causes you to translate it into things. You think that this is reality, but what it is your vibrational interpretation. And so because you happen to be vibrationally interpreting similarly, you call it a reality. And we don't disagree with that. The more people who are vibrationally interpreting similarly, the more that reality is reality. That's why scientists want everybody to agree on what they're seeing before they allow themselves to move forward. But there is a vibrational reality that is being lived by your inner being, and you are being given constant guidance so that you can realize the vibrational components of that so that you can translate them into the more tangible, because it is more satisfying. Isn't the leading edge more satisfying? Don't you want to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it? Don't you want your dreams to become reality? Don't you want to walk on that beach that you've envisioned and feel that water on your feet? Don't you want the visceral experience of it? Your inner being does and is having it.
Yeah, I wanted the Egg McMuffin I had on the road trip here, which I felt so guilty for, and I want to not feel that guilt, but I wanted the pleasure. So I get that. So,
A little aside there.
So the future lives that have been lived vibrationally, if I'm shifting
The future that is being lived vibrationally. In other words, it's future, but it is so vibrationally present that you could have it right now. That's that quantum leap that you were reaching for earlier. That's that quantum leap. That's the shift. That's the vibrational, emotional shift that is necessary. Once it has been given vibrational births, the ability for it to be a physical, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it reality is real. You've just got to get to that place that you can translate it into the impulse.
So as my now changes, so does my future change, because it's
yes, even if in your now you're exploring unwanted contrast, your future is benefiting by it. Because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want.
So stories of future and stories of past are the same, kind of.
Give us more.
Let's say
All of your power is here and now. Let's just start there. Doesn't matter if you're exploring the past or what you call the future, you're doing it right here and now. The only question that you really want to ask is my exploration of whatever identical with the exploration that my source is having, or am I deviating from that source perspective? And as you feel your way into your source perspective, then what you're calling vibrational reality then becomes, boom, physical reality, where other people can see it too.